it was likely to be passing through this way and that it would be stopping in Havana. You learn this from Captain Davies, who was, probably drunk at the time and bereft of a ship, uh, and begging and pleading to try to get someone to undertake this voyage so he could get back on his feet. Um, he thought he had a plan with you guys, but it turns out you guys had a difference of opinion on how to undertake it, and he ran off with, it seems, Captain Morgan and several other individuals, um, to go after it himself, most likely. Um, you know that it will still be at least a couple of weeks before it arrives in Havana, the fleet. Um, but you're a few days sail from there. Probably no more than, uh, well, actually, I could go do the math, but probably only a couple of days. Hey, Sleuth.
Hello. I forgot today was Friday.
Today's Friday.
In California.
Got to get down on Friday.
Getting down on Friday is optional. Don't let anyone else tell you
I think
otherwise.
you mean optimal. I mean, what better use of a Friday is there?
D&D.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, well, you want to play that instead?
I mean, this is D&D adjacent.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm using D&D in the same way that Southerners use the term Coke to refer to every soft drink.
That explains why I don't like it. Thank you.
Oh, you like
hell is
those Pepsi Cokes?
What the hell is that from, Sent? I keep seeing this GIF.
I came across it before, but now I don't remember where.
From California, probably.
It's not Beverly Hills Cop, is it?
Hold on, let's see here. Super Sentai series Ninja Sentai Kakurungar?
You lost me.
Okay.
It's some Japanese. What do you want?
Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. So this is a Super Sentai show.
The ninja action movie from Japan,
Okay.
which apparently involves American police.
Sure.
Shooting people in the face, apparently.
Not just American police, but that guy is dressed in like a period accurate fucking LAPD helmet.
Yeah, that's like highway patrol shit.
Yeah.
Have we actually watched Dirty Harry on Cinema Sundays?
Watch X Cop.
Axe Cop.
We should watch Chips.
So how do I make a character in this game?
No, we should watch Maniac Cop.
You're trying to make a pirate, Sleuth?
Are there like different classes, or is it just you get a bunch of shit and you can do a bunch of shit?
You get classes.
There are classes.
Yeah.
But there's also a random generator that just gives you a character.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the classes?
Buccaneer, Swashbuckler.
Rapscallion.
And there's like 4 or 5.
There's a sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Brute, Rapscallion, Buccaneer, Swashbuckler, Zealot.
Oh, I forgot about the zealot. I don't think we have a zealot, do we?
I don't think so.
Clergy member, cultist, shaman, or believer. Fuck it, I'll try it. Alright. Ba. 8 D4 page 28.
So, what are you gentlemen doing?
Well, I think we're, we know roughly when the galleons will be there, so we're probably going to aim to arrive, you know, 6 hours after they show up, so they have time to disgorge themselves, to take on their cargo, but not quite yet ready to leave. And then we enact our plan. That's the idea, I think.
Okay. You're probably aware enough to know that any ETA they gave on when they're going to be there has a pretty wide margin of error.
Right, so we'll leave early and just have to
Weather's-
kind of hang out with scouts and the like. Because of that reason, in case they arrive early due to favorable winds or whatnot.
So be it.
We have enough room to take on enough supplies, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue.
I don't see why it would be, no. All right, in that case, let's see. Well, it probably takes you about 4 days, since your ship's not super fast, to get up there. Um, you're pretty sure you have quite a bit of time, but I imagine you don't do it immediately. So you have some downtime in Tortuga before you'd have to go, because I think it's pretty safe to assume you could wait about a week and a half and have pretty much zero chance of missing them. So if there's anything you'd like to do with a week and a half's downtime,
Nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah, nothing here either.
okay, so be it. Do you just wait at sea then? Are you just gonna go and just hang out by the port 2 weeks in advance?
Well, no, we're gonna hang out in Tortuga. You said it's only like 4 days away.
It's about 4 days for you guys.
Right. So if we know that they're going to arrive on a certain day, we would want to leave like we'd aim to want to be in the area about a day in advance of when we expect them to show up, and this kind of just to cover any arrival discrepancies due to favorable or disfavorable wind. And ideally, we would want to hang out concealed, except for maybe like one of those tartanes who just kind of sits there looking like a fishing boat to keep an eye on it, and then they come and inform the flotilla when the galleons arrive.
Okay. So to me, it sounds like you would hang out easterly of the port, because you would know that the route that the fleet's taking, they're going to come from the west, and that gives you kind of the opportunity to not have them just run into you if you're past the
Right.
port and you just have one scout. Okay.
The scout having an eye on the entry to the port so that they can't get by without them noticing.
All right, that makes sense to me. So a couple of miles away from Havana, there's another fort on the beach. You guys could probably stay sort of just at the edge of where they probably can't see you, and if they do, you look like fishing boats.
Mm-hmm.
Or certainly the one they can see looks like a fishing boat. Which ship do you send forward, the Peaceful or the Mischief's Bounty?
Which one has voodoo on it?
Well, I think any of them could have voodoo on it.
It's true.
Well, I didn't know if you had a preference for which ship you'd prefer to be in.
Nope, just whichever ship you tell me to be, Captain.
All right, I think the Peaceful Intentions then says it's
Since Ruffles isn't here.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I pretend to be a fishing boat.
And we'll send Voodoo along with you since he's the best scout we got.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's get a perception check from whoever's doing the scouting.
Aye.
I called it a perception check. That's funny. All right, that looks pretty good. So you see a little activity in and out of the port from here. It just looks like, some like coastal fishing. Nothing major happening. But people are zipping in and out of port. The fort seems pretty quiet. They certainly don't seem to be alerted to anything you guys are doing. And with a roll that good, you can probably tell to your north, at quite a distance, there appears to be what looks like kind of just over the horizon. You can kind of barely make out what looks like the tops of two masts.
All right. Do these masts look like galleons?
I mean, from this distance, there's no way in the world you can tell what it is.
All right. Well, I keep an eye on them, see if they're getting closer, and see if they, start looking like our targets.
Okay. You watch them throughout the day. They seem to be sitting in more or less the same place. They're northeast of you, um, and stationary.
All right. Well, I inform Pete's character about this development. That they seem to be just kind of chilling at anchor to our northeast, and I don't know, maybe they worthy to take a look at.
You want me to go closer?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
I don't want to risk blowing our cover.
Well, at the very least, we should maybe let Commodore Hook know, and maybe he can sail his ship over to there.
Yeah, maybe he could, well, we don't want to give them away. Do we have a means to communicate with Commodore Hook?
You could communicate with Semaphore, but like if you're raising signal flags, the fort's going to see that.
Right, that's my concern. Because a fishing boat should not be doing that.
No.
We could abandon our post to go talk to them.
Do we have a rowboat?
I would assume so, yeah.
They might not see that.
But I mean, well, somebody getting in a rowboat to go to go a rowing, right? Like, probably wouldn't draw too many flags.
Is there a place where we can signal to... If we're in signal range to Commodore Hook, could we simply put someone down in a rowboat behind the ship where the fort can't see them and have them signal from there?
So the thing about signaling is you do it from somewhere high,
Right.
because your visibility is much better.
Yeah, well, I didn't know how far away he is, but if we have to do that, then we can't do that.
We'll just put somebody on a rowboat and have them row over to deliver the message.
Yeah, okay.
There's a couple of, I don't know if you would want to call them islands. They're a little better than sandbars that are kind of between the fort and the ocean behind you. So they do provide some cover, and it's possible they wouldn't notice the boat that small at this distance.
That gives me an idea. Well, a different idea. Not the rowboat, but...
Hey, this is your ship. I'm just a scout.
You're well out of their gun range anyway.
Yeah, but the idea is to not give ourselves away here. But what I'm wondering is whether we couldn't communicate that way by sunflash without the fort noticing. But anyway, I think a rowboat will do. Just send a runner, for lack of a better word.
Oh, rower.
Yeah, a rower.
Sure, you just send in a nobody?
Unless you want to do it, Voodoo. But
Well, I mean, we're both needed here to keep an eye out.
yeah, I think we can spare one rowboat and maybe a pair of able hands. But yeah, how do you feel about that, Voodoo? Send 2 people?
Yeah.
To go rowing? Oh, do we have any lobster traps? Or I should say, do I have any lobster traps?
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't.
It'll give them some cover. We'll load them up with some lobster traps and have them go and deliver a message. yes, that is what we do. We send two of our finest lobster trappers to go and deliver a message to Commodore Hook reporting our findings.
Well, technically, wouldn't you be the best lobster man?
Our
so
second
we're
and
not-
third
yeah.
best lobster trappers. Our two best lobster trappers who aren't the captain.
That works. That works.
So I'm pretty sure those are just modifiers to your final number.
Okay.
Okay, so you send your lobster trappers, and they make their way back towards the Sitting Dutch. Yeah. So Commodore Hook, there is a rowboat, and there are gentlemen with lobster traps.
There's only one captain I know of that would send people with lobster traps to me.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Star.
Get them aboard, find out what they want, or if they're the only survivors.
All right. So what message exactly did you give them?
Remind me what we saw again, Voodoo?
Two ships seem to be at anchor, just barely over the horizon to our northeast.
Yep. There you go. That's the message.
Ships be of interest.
Okay. I then write a reply to them telling them to hold position, continue to monitor Havana access for unusual activities, i.e., the galleons.
Right.
I give it back to them and send them back to Lobster Lakes.
Okay. They spend a considerable amount of time rowing their way back up there and deliver the message.
Okay.
Oh.
We continue to keep watch.
Okay. I think the rest of the day goes by uneventfully. It gets dark. At this point, you really can't see anything. And then, I mean, if it's at harbor, there's some light over there, but it's still pretty dark. And once it gets late enough, it's almost completely black that way as well. You can see a couple of dim lanterns and a couple of the ships that are near the mouth of the bay, but otherwise, it's just dark. Um, I assume you just sort of hold your position till day breaks.
Yes.
Hmm.
Go ahead and make another perception check, a presence roll.
Roger that.
Okay. Um, in the morning mist, you really can't see anything. You can't make out where those masts were yesterday, but it's hard to tell if that's because they've gone somewhere or it's just because of the sort of low, kind of light fog that's over in that direction.
Of course, of course.
Seems to be still pretty typical traffic in and out of the harbor. You do see a merchantman leave. There's a couple of fishing ships up there.
Well, if there's nothing immediately of note, I just stay up in the crow's nest and just keep a solid eye out.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much all you see for the day. The night goes by pretty uneventfully. Is somebody else keeping watch at night, or what are you doing? Because you do have to sleep occasionally, right?
Well, we can set watches.
Yeah. Some other schmuck of the crew, keep watch at night.
Yeah.
Okay, make me a flat d20 roll for them. Ooh, okay. In the dark and in the distance, um, this crew member says he heard something, and he saw a flash of light to the northwest, and the crack. He almost thought it was thunder, but he thinks it was cannon fire in the distance. It was low, and he watched for a minute, and he couldn't find it again, but he's pretty sure of it.
I wonder if
Hmm.
it's our Captain Davies trying to attack the fleet.
I might have gotten a start to the festivities early. The question is whether the galleons are here yet.
Well, I mean, unless we try to sail closer, it's gonna be hard to tell.
Hmm. So this could be the kind of situation where we might have to jump on it right away. But the question is, what do we do?
Well, I mean,
We can leave them to themselves, and they'll probably lose. We could wake up two guys, or take two guys from the watch who are already awake, send the fishing boat to go and warn Commodore Hook, and then sail into the fray to see if we can make a difference.
well, the problem is we're not really sure if there is a fray.
Well, at least one cannon shot may have been exchanged.
Well, yeah, but I mean that could have been, I don't know, fending off a really angry shark or something.
What time is it when he reports this?
In the early hours of the morning, maybe 3 a.m.
And what direction did he say?
Probably northwest.
Would that be out to sea or to shore?
That would be out to sea,
Maybe he saw the green
towards where
flash.
those sails were sighted before.
Or it could be cannon fire. If it were fighting at the port, we would hear it though at this distance, wouldn't we?
If they were fighting at the port, you would probably hear it. You would also probably, like, you might see flashes of light from cannon fire. You'd probably, at this range, you may or may not hear any, like, church bells ringing or any kind of alarm being raised, but probably there would be some, like, commotion at the fort. They'd at least have some lights on.
Well, I mean, if there were cannon fire, we would hear that at this distance.
Yeah, I think from where you're at, you would detect it if something happened at the port pretty quickly.
Okay, so assuming what the guy saw was real, the most this could be is like an engagement out to sea, which could mean that the shit. I don't know. What do you think we should do, Voodoo?
Well, considering that there's a lack of, more, it might not be our other piratical friends joining the fray. It could just be anything. But I mean, we could just sail over and see if we can track down what's going on. I mean, it probably wouldn't take too long to go out and come back. It's not going to be missing anything.
Right. Yeah, and that could at least be excused as like curiosity. Yeah, I think we should go and have a look. And I think we should also, we'll tell one guy about, no, we'll send the same set of messengers we sent before or at least in the same way,
So you send 2 guys in a rowboat
in a rowboat,
back towards the Sitting Dutch.
back towards
and
the Sitting Dutch.
The other 7 people on your vessel, with you guys included, sail towards the gunfire.
Oh, right, we need, with the 2 of us included, that's a full crew for a Turtain. I believe. Yeah, 9.
With the 2 of you included, it's 7, because you were
Oh.
at 9, I believe.
Okay, then
Unless
we-
I'm wrong.
If we were at 9, then we're at 9.
Okay.
That's what I have listed.
Okay. So yeah, minus 2 people is 7.
Okay, well then we can't send 2 people. I want to be at full strength. Why don't we just go and have a look?
Yeah, if it's more than just some guy shooting off his cannon early or something like that. I mean, we just come back and get the the other bunch of people and then go back, right?
Okay,
If it's nothing, well then we don't we just spend some time sailing around. It's not a big deal.
after that conversation that only took a few minutes, we decided to go and have a look.
Okay. You make way, and I guess you sail in a northwesterly direction.
Yep.
Are you running with any lights on?
No.
Okay. So neither the Sitting Dutch nor the fort have any fucking idea what you're doing.
Yeah, if for no other reason, so as to not ruin the crew's night vision. We want to be able to see what's going on as best as we can.
Well, you make your way a bit closer, and as you approach the noise, you start to smell. You start to smell smoke. Like you can tell something in the air. Like you could tell something was burnt, and you can see these like embers coming up from the water. And there are, in the darkness, several tall shapes you can make out. Why don't we get a presence test and see how far off you guys are when you detect this?
Right. Yep. Oof.
Okay. So you guys,
Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the devil's luck. Hold on. Hold that phone.
okay.
Seriously.
Okay. So you guys sail basically right up on this. It's just dark. You kind of smell smoke, and it's just you don't see anything. And then you realize the reason you didn't see anything is because there's this big black like mass that's blocking your view, and it like moves, and behind it as it's like as it sails past, you see this burning wreckage on the other side, and then you can kind of make out the silhouette of 5 vessels that you've sailed up on.
What sizes?
In the darkness, well, let's see.
I should
At
at
your
least be able
angle,
to see like silhouettes.
at your angle, one of the larger ones is blocking 2 of them, so all you can see is a bunch of masts. But you can see that one of them is a flute. You can see that one of them is a brig, and you can see that one of them is very, very large.
Like a galleon?
It's not the right shape. It's too flat.
And does this include
got-
the
It's tall, but the top deck is flat. It doesn't have that curve.
interesting. What size is the wrecked ship?
I mean, most of it's underwater. but it looks fairly small. It might have been that merchantman you guys saw earlier today. It might be a fishing vessel. Hard to tell.
Well, this doesn't seem like the Spanish fleet. It could be our pirate friends. I don't know who or what allies they have, but I think we should get out of here
Yeah, I concur.
before they get wise.
Speaking of that, well, you hear a bell ringing on one of these ships, and then you hear another bell on another one, and then another bell. You
Okay.
might want to roll initiative.
Yeah, that means ship sighted, and we're still in our fishing boat disguise, so we look like prey to them.
You might, yeah.
Assuming they're pirates. What do we roll for initiative?
Just a d6.
I've got my character, I think, done. Is there anything else I need to do, or?
No. What ship are you on?
What are the choices?
You can be on the one that's in combat or one of the two that's not.
I can tell you which is more immediately useful.
And I can tell you which one's more likely to result in your death.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
Hmm.
Well, you could ask
Which-
the people on that wrecked ship where their sense of adventure is. I imagine it's a few fathoms down.
Well, they're not as cool as us, is the thing.
Which would be more thematically appropriate for One Ivan, shortened to One Ivan, the revolutionary mutineer who has fucked off from Russia?
Well, Lobster Legs is also a revolutionary.
Is he a zealot of chaos as well?
No, unfortunately, he is a proto-American.
I mean, that's technically a zealot of chaos. Let's be perfectly honest here.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
No, he's just some loser who didn't want to pay taxes.
So it sounds like you've got my niche covered. So I'll be somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay.
There's only room for one revolutionary aboard
So
this ship.
I have tried to start my stream, but Discord says no. So here's where you are.
Yeah, it sounds like Discord's having some issues.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to update infrastructure. Like half the servers I'm in have been crashing in the last hour and a half.
Oh, it might not let me even give you an image. This may pose a challenge.
Quick, AGR, send it via rowboat. Okay,
What I
here
will tell
eventually.
you is, I will tell you you're going first, and you are literally one tile outside of their gun range on their nearest ship.
Okay. Here, let me get my book open.
Well, I vote we get the hell out of Dodge.
I agree. So we need to make a hard turn away from them.
Roll me a d6 to see which way the wind's blowing. And if the wind is blowing due west, we're going to ignore anything that is like a westerly breeze.
What time period is this? Like late 1700s?
This is vaguely piratey times, so it is a wide range of times, all mashed together. But somewhere between the very late 1600s and probably not quite the 1800s. Okay.
Now, are we facing directly into their gun arcs?
Currently, yes.
Okay. So in order to turn, we do need to get a little bit closer to them. Because that's just how turning works.
Yes, but they don't have like polearm master or anything. They can't like hit you
Oh
like
yeah,
with a
right.
reaction.
Right. Okay. Yeah, then we execute the hardest turn we can make, downwind, so that we're starting to face away from them. And let's see.
Quite sure there's a crew roll to get more speed.
Yeah, well, I can do that. It's let's see, where is it? Crew actions, full sail, ship test, agility plus PC agility, DR12. Okay, and then my agility is good. Okay. Oh. Yeah, D&D's having some, or Discord's having some problems.
Can't roll?
I did roll twice in D&D chat. Do you all see that?
I do not.
I see the initiative as the last roll.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's the last roll, but after that I attempted to roll 2 more times, but the bot has not responded, and apparently none of you can see it.
Yeah, I might just be taking some time here. Hold on.
Unfortunately, this game is more visual. Like there's more props necessary than a regular game of D&D.
Yeah, and being able to roll is also important.
Yeah. I mean, I do have some dice, but like it's it's a little suboptimal here.
All right.
I think we might
might
have to just
postpone this.
postpone, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I can try to roll. What's the mod?
oh, well, I mean, obviously we could have AGR roll.
Well, I want to test if it's a problem on your side or everyone's side.
Oh, well, roll a d6
It's
to see
not.
which way the wind is blowing.
I've tried to post images twice and I've tried to stream and none of those are working.
The
So.
last
Same.
thing that I've seen is me typing exclamation point or space d6 and space d20 plus 6.
I'm also seeing the same.
Oh, you do see that.
I see my RD6. I do not see your RD6s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can see what I post. I don't see what anyone else posts after that initial roll.
Yeah, we'll just have to hit F5 and quit.
Yeah. So we'll pick this back up. But yeah, Pete, you got some interesting